Hello and welcome to the Criticuculus. I'm a Monk, and today we are doing a review for Final Fantasy XVI. Yes, this is Square Enix's latest installment into the Final Fantasy franchise. Now, this game is a AAA rated game. It's currently on the PlayStation 5 and will set you back a whopping £70. Some editions upwards of £100. Now, as I said, this is a PlayStation 5 exclusive, but it is a timed exclusive, so you can expect it on Xbox and PC at some stage. However, the creators at Square Enix have said there is no timeline for when this may be. So there's no ETA on when it will be on PC, only that at some stage you should be able to expect it to be. Hopefully Xbox don't have to wait too much longer after that as well, but again, there is no timeline for that whatsoever. So in Final Fantasy 16, what can you expect? Now, first of all, I should really start this review by saying I absolutely adore Final Fantasy games. I have played Final Fantasy 7 and 8 multiple times. In fact, I've played almost every single installment within this franchise. This is more of an action RPG. It has gone away from the turn-based combat, never more so than in this installment. In fact, they have really doubled down on the combat, and when you don't have action, you're going to have a lot of cutscenes. These cutscenes actually interrupt the action sometimes as well. So you'll be battling, you'll be working down on that health bar, and all of a sudden it will cut to a cutscene. You'll get some kind of cinematic, and then you'll go back into that action. Now, I'm not saying that is necessarily a bad thing. I'm just trying to help you guys understand the type of gameplay that you're gonna be having. This is massively action driven and not the kind of Final Fantasy that you may have fallen in love with a long time ago. What I would say on the combat side is that it is seamless. It is very easy to use. You can kind of button smash if you want, but if you do take your time to actually get good at the mechanics in this game, there's some pretty amazing combos that you can use. You use your weapon mixed with magic as well. You've got a dash, you've got a dodge, and you've got a jump button as well. It's pretty simple. However, the monsters and the fights that you face aren't always so simple. There are some pretty awesome monsters, some pretty epic battles, and some familiar faces as well. Now, I would also like to mention this isn't an open world RPG like I was hoping. This is more of a corridor base. You will go from corridor to corridor. Every time you get more of an open area, you can expect a fight. I was a little bit disappointed with this because you could really tell when these fights were incoming. As soon as there was a clearing, you knew that a fight was on the way. Another thing that struck me as a bit of a surprise is that this game kind of draws away from the whole you've got a party, you're kind of evolving and growing a party of companions going through this adventure. Within this one, you are a single player. You take control of a single character, and you get to experience their journey across 3 different timelines. Now, taking control of a single character may seem a little bit odd, especially for Final Fantasy games. However, playing this game, putting as much time in as I have, I've actually really enjoyed it. Yes, you are playing as a single character. Yes, the RPG elements may not be anywhere near what they used to be and what Final Fantasy is renowned for. However, the characters that you meet along the way are all very unique. They're all very interesting. They definitely stick with you and make an impact on the screen. And it's really cool to see and spot the throwbacks to, previous Final Fantasy games, that being the summons, chocobos, or just the magic in general. And we should talk about the summons or the Guardian Forces, the dominants as they're called within this game. There are a lot of familiar faces. I was really glad to see that Ifrit and Shiva was in it, and there's a lot more as well. However, they have tried to do something a little bit unique and a little bit different within this game. And you know what? I feel like it works a lot better within Final Fantasy XVI than it did in Final Fantasy XV. One notable change within this installment, however, is that we have gone up to a M rating. That's right, this has mature content within it. It to me is a little bit by surprise, and so when I realized the kind of theme that this game was going for, it trying to reach into that Game of Thrones-esque theme, I found it kind of interesting. It definitely got me more interested in the story than if it wasn't before. And while your character does level up, getting more and better stats, it really isn't the kind of micromanagement system that you have seen within previous games. However, you have got a variety of abilities that you can unlock and upgrade. It just isn't as in depth as we are all familiar with. Now, I get it, there is a lot of bad reviews circulating for this game. I've actually taken a little bit more time to play this game rather than rushing out a review because I really wanted to go at it and see what it actually had to offer. I've enjoyed my experience. That being said, I am a hardcore Final Fantasy fan, so I would prefer it to sink more into its roots, but I can appreciate it that it's trying to attract a new audience and make this a game that anyone can play. The combat itself is relatively easy. It really is one of those games that anyone can just pick up, play, and enjoy the story that it has to offer, and it really does have an amazing story with some of the best cutscenes I think I have ever seen, certainly this year. And I feel like if this wasn't called Final Fantasy XVI and it was Final Fantasy and then any other name afterwards, and it wasn't actually a numbered addition to the franchise, that people will be looking at this game a little bit differently and giving it a little bit more slack than they are currently. Ultimately, this is a very, very good game, very, very well put together. I had absolutely zero issues with it, no dashboarding glitches or anything of any kind. This game worked perfectly on the PlayStation 5, and it really does look absolutely amazing. The cutscenes are splendid, really well put together. The voice acting almost perfect for almost every character. There was a few questionable ones thrown in every now and again, but honestly, it was great to see this story evolve. Great to see the chocobos pop up every now and again when the summons and the dominance pops in and done their business. Their giant fight scenes, it had added so much gravity and weight to the fights themselves. Another small feature that I happen to love is the fact that if you, for whatever reason, you missed some information, maybe even skipped a cutscene and wanted to catch up really quickly, you have a button to press that kind of pauses the game and brings up an encyclopedia for all the knowledge you currently know about any one character, and that knowledge evolves as the story evolves as well. Really handy and absolutely a must-have in other RPGs as well. Another thing I should mention as well, this game does actually have a Play It Plus. So once you complete the game, you can reload it, replay it on a harder difficulty with a few extra bonuses as well. I won't spoil it, but it's good to see that this game does have a decent amount of playtime to it. All in all, I'm going to give this game an 8 out of 10. It isn't perfect, it isn't what I wanted, but it is a very, very good game. A great installment. I love dipping my toes in the Final Fantasy universe. And you know what? It does a pretty good job. But if you have stayed to the very end of the review, a big thank you to you. Don't forget to comment red banana down below. Just confuse all those people new to the channel or that didn't watch to the very end. And don't forget, we have actually released our very own sci-fi dystopian novel. It is called Seven Broken and Bound, and it's currently available on Amazon and it's completely free on ebook. The link is down in the description. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Inquisitus, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.